Hello, Nev here, and today on Man Can Cook, I've got a bit of a naughty one for you. My chocolate Nutty Crunch. Now, normally I try and avoid sugar like the plague, but this recipe does have a little bit of sugar in it, but it's only the amount of sugar that's in 2 100-gram blocks of 90% Lindt, so it's not a whole lot. For this recipe, you'll need 2 100-gram blocks of 90% Lindt chocolate broken up into pieces, 50 grams of powdered stevia, 60 grams of coconut oil, 150 grams of nuts. So I've used 100 grams of raw almonds and 50 grams of salted peanuts. So you could substitute this for other types of nuts, so macadamias would be great. 75 grams of sunflower seeds, 50 grams of pumpkin seeds or pepitas, 40 grams of flaked almonds, 40 grams of chia seeds, 30 grams of coconut shards, and 30 grams of desiccated coconut. The first thing I'm going to do is just melt the coconut oil. I've just heated the coconut oil for a few seconds so that it's now liquid, and to that I'm going to add the stevia and stir that in. This will just help the stevia dissolve a little bit. I'm going to melt the chocolate now over very low simmering water in a heat-proof bowl, so I'm just using a stainless steel bowl. You have to make sure that the water is not touching the base of the bowl, and it needs to be done very slowly, otherwise the chocolate may seize. So you just leave that sit there for a few minutes until the chocolate starts to melt, and then you start stirring it with usually a metal spoon. You also have to make sure that there is no water in the bowl at all, otherwise that will seize the chocolate as well. You'll have to start again. And you can see there's still a few lumps of chocolate there. Just keep stirring until it's all melted. So the chocolate's been melting for about 6 minutes and there are no lumps left, it's completely melted. And we can move on to the next step. While the chocolate's heating, I've just added all the dry ingredients to a bowl, and to that I'm going to add the coconut oil and stevia. So just mix that in really well, making sure that you've got everything coated in the coconut oil and stevia. And once the chocolate is melted, I'm going to add the melted chocolate to the mix as well. And then mix the chocolate in. And make sure that everything is coated in the chocolate. So I've put the mix out onto a baking tray lined with baking paper. I'm not going to go right to the edges of this baking tray, it is a little bit too big. You need the mix to be probably about 1.5 centimeters thick, so that when you cut it, it doesn't just completely crack apart. And then this just goes into the fridge for about an hour. It's now been about an hour that our chocolate crunch has been in the fridge, and it's nice and set and it's ready to be cut. So I've just got it on a cutting board on the bench and I've got a sharp knife. And here is the finished chocolate Nutty Crunch. This needs to be kept in the fridge, otherwise it will melt. Now I worked out the amount of sugar per piece, actually based on 20 pieces. I've actually made closer to 30, but the amount of sugar based on 20 pieces is about 0.5 gram, so there's not very much sugar in this at all. If you are really low carb, you'd probably want to substitute the peanuts for macadamias or something like that to lower the carbs as well. When you're putting this away, as the maker of this recipe, you have every right to eat the crooked end parts. That's about all I have time for today. I hope you enjoyed my video. Now before I go, I just wanted to tell you, please try not to eat too much of this Nutty Crunch. It is very addictive. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.